He stops a few steps away, smiling like nothing ever happened. "Clara," he says again, softer now, almost tender. The woman beside him touches his arm, her voice smooth as glass. "She looks wonderful, doesn't she?" I stare at them both, unable to breathe for a moment. 27 years, and they appear unchanged, only practiced. The same charm, they used to hide cruelty behind good manners. My throat burns, but my voice finds its way through the shock. "My name is Ella," I say, steady but cold. "Ella Moreau." My father blinks, his smile faltering. "Of course," he murmurs, "names can change, but blood." "Blood abandoned me," I cut in, louder than I intended. People nearby glance up from their phones and coffee cups. I see confusion flicker across their faces, then curiosity. He straightens his suit jacket, playing the gentleman for the crowd. "Your mother and I made mistakes," he says in a rehearsed tone. "We were frightened, young." "You were 40, I reply, sharp as a blade. The woman winces, eyes darting toward the nurses watching us. "Elise," I say her name like a question that already knows the answer. She looks at me as if searching for a version of me that still obeys. "But that girl died the night they shut the door in her face." "I have nothing to say to either of you," I whisper. She leans closer, the perfume too familiar, too sweet. "Darling, we only want to meet your son, to make peace." Peace? The word tastes rotten. They saw Noah's name in the newspaper, the miracle surgeon. That is why they came, not for love but for image. I see the calculation in their eyes, the same greed as before. "You lost the right to speak of peace when you sold your silence," I say. My father's face tightens, cracks in the performance showing. "We provided for you once," he mutters. "We did what we could. You left me with $200 and a suitcase." He says nothing. The air between us grows heavy, charged with things unsaid. Across the lobby, Noah waves, unaware of the storm nearby. He still calls me mom with pride, not shame. And that is what burns them most. I raise my chin, meeting their eyes one by one. "You will not approach him, ever." Elise flinches at the steel in my tone. Victor tries to laugh it off, but his smile trembles. "Family can't be erased, Clara." "I erased you the day you drove away," I answer. Silence stretches like wire between us. He finally nods, a mock gesture of surrender. "We'll talk soon," he says, turning toward the exit. She lingers, eyes glistening but empty of warmth. Then they leave, heels clicking against the polished floor. I stand there until the sound fades completely. The past walks out of the lobby, but its shadow remains. And I realize this is only the beginning. The ghosts have found me again, and this time I won't run. 3 days pass before I finally meet Roland. His office smells of old books and coffee, gone cold. He slides a thick envelope across the table, without a word. Inside, I see documents yellowed with time. Guardianship papers. Court stamps. A no-contact order signed by a judge I never met. "Marguerite protected you," he says quietly. "She knew they might come back someday." My fingers shake as I trace her signature. The ink feels alive, pulsing with her steady resolve. "She wasn't just kind," I whisper. "She was strategic." Roland nods, eyes tired but kind. "Your parents' company is under federal investigation." The words hit like cold rain. Fraud, insider trading, unpaid taxes. They're drowning. I stare at the papers, trying to process the shape of their desperation. "They saw Noah's article," Roland continues. "The brilliant young surgeon, the foundation, the success." He opens another folder, crisp and new. A contract between Victor Duval and Tyler Wren. The name freezes my blood. Tyler, the boy who walked away when I told him I was pregnant. 8% commission for a successful reunion, Roland reads. They hired him to help them reconnect with you. I close my eyes, the betrayal stinging like acid. They're using him, using Noah. Or perhaps he's using them, Roland replies. He filed for bankruptcy last month. The room tilts slightly as he speaks. I grip the edge of the desk, forcing myself to breathe. Marguerite must have known. All those years, she insisted on paperwork, lawyers, records. It wasn't control, it was protection. They think they can rewrite history, I say. Roland opens another file. Your legal name change, your adoption both ironclad. He points to the embossed seal. No court can undo this. You're legally her daughter, Ella Moreau. A strange calm spreads through me. For the first time, the fear gives way to anger. Not the trembling kind, but sharp, focused. They want access to everything Marguerite built. Roland's expression hardens. Worse, they want to clean their reputation with your success. He taps the morning paper spread across his desk. The headline glows in bold letters. Duval & Co. faces criminal charges amid financial collapse. Below it, Noah's smiling photo. Our two worlds side by side, theirs crumbling, ours shining. They'll push this family narrative, Roland says. The redeemed parents, the forgiving daughter, the heroic grandson. I shake my head slowly. They underestimate me, and her. Roland leans back, watching me carefully. What will you do? I slip Marguerite's watch from my wrist, feeling its steady pulse. Exactly what she taught me. He arches a brow. Choose the battlefield, I answer. He smiles faintly, understanding. The plan has already begun forming in my mind. This isn't a reunion. It's a takeover. And I intend to win. The cafeteria hums with the rhythm of hospital life. Doctors hurry past, trays clatter, coffee steams. I chose this place on purpose, public, neutral, safe. Roland's words echo in my head like steady counsel. Choose the battlefield. I sit facing the glass wall, Marguerite's watch cool on my wrist. 5 minutes early, just as expected, they appear. Victor in a dark suit, polished but too new. Elise in cream silk, her smile rehearsed and fragile. They approach like diplomats, not parents. Clara, he begins, offering his hand. Ella, I correct, keeping mine on the table. For a heartbeat, something flickers behind his eyes. He recovers quickly, charming, poised. Of course, old habits. They sit without invitation, the air between us tightening. I open the folder I brought and lay it flat. Photographs, legal seals, signed reports. I found Marguerite's records, I say evenly. Every time you tried to reach me, for profit. Victor's smile stiffens, the veneer cracking. Those were misunderstandings, he insists. Elise leans forward, voice dripping sympathy. We were lost, darling. We made mistakes. Mistakes with investigators, with bribes, I ask. Her eyes dart away, throat tightening. You watched us for years, I continue. From parking lots, at store openings, outside Noah's school. Their silence confirms more than words ever could. Perhaps we should speak somewhere private, Elise whispers. I shake my head. I prefer witnesses. Victor glances around, seeing the nurses, the doctors nearby. He lowers his voice, tone slipping toward anger. You've grown bold. I've grown free, I answer. He exhales sharply, eyes hard as steel. We want to know our grandson, that's all. Your grandson doesn't need what you offer, I say. He has family, real family. Elise's hand trembles on her cup. You can't erase blood. I don't need to, I reply. You erased it for me. I slide another paper toward them. Their signatures, dated, notarized the deal with Tyler. Elise gasps, color draining from her face. Victor clenches his jaw, the mask finally breaking. You think this proves anything, he hisses. It proves everything, I say. A few heads turn our way, curiosity rising. Elise forces a brittle smile, voice shaky but soft. Clara, please, we only want peace. You keep using that word, I murmur. But what you want is access. Victor stands, hands flat on the table. This isn't over. It is for me, I answer, standing too. Behind me, footsteps approach. Noah, still in scrubs, his expression sharp. Is there a problem here? He asks firmly. Victor's gaze flickers from him to me, measuring, retreating. Elise whispers, he looks just like you. I meet her eyes without blinking. Yes, I say, and nothing like you. They leave, faces pale, composure shattered. Noah turns to me, protective and steady. Who were they? He asks quietly. People who once called themselves my parents. I take a slow breath, the weight lifting slightly. Marguerite's watch ticks on, sure and calm. The past finally knows my name, and it's not Clara. The headlines appear 2 weeks later. Estranged family seeks reconciliation with successful heiress. Their faces fill the screen, all soft smiles and trembling voices. Elise dabs fake tears. Victor speaks of forgiveness and time lost. They call me Clara again, over and over, reclaiming a ghost. The interviewer leans forward, warm eyes and sharper intent. They say your daughter changed her name. Why? Victor sighs, perfect timing. She was influenced by her employer, the late Marguerite Moreau. The implication lands like poison. That Marguerite stole me, twisted me, turned me against them. I watch the broadcast in silence, fury cold and clear. Roland calls within minutes. They've launched a media campaign, he says flatly. It's strategic, timed before the Foundation gala. I know what that means, attack by narrative. They want sympathy, a headline about forgiveness and family. I want the truth. By afternoon, my phone is full of calls from reporters. Messages from donors asking if it's true. Noah's face appears on the news beside theirs. The perfect triangle, the lost daughter, the prodigal grandson, the grieving parents. Activate our response, I tell Roland. He nods, calm amid the chaos. We issue a statement from my company. Simple, factual, no emotion. Court records. Guardianship dates. The no-contact order, signed 27 years ago. Then Noah adds his own words. I am proud to be Dr. Noah Moreau, son of Ella Moreau. My family is built on love and choice. The internet shifts like a tide changing direction. Old employees from my bakery post stories of kindness, of trust. Photos of Marguerite mentoring young women resurface online. The truth, quiet but powerful, begins to rise. By evening, 3 donors confirm they will attend the gala. Roland's email arrives with one line, momentum regained. I almost smile, but exhaustion weighs heavy. They wanted to break my identity. Instead, they amplified it. Still, victory feels fragile. The calm before another storm. My phone rings again. Unknown number. I answer, expecting another reporter. Victor's voice slides through the speaker, smooth and deliberate. The Foundation gala should be interesting, he says. You weren't invited, I reply. Oh, we're patrons now, he answers, amused. Supporting single mothers feels redemptive. The line goes dead before I can speak. I stare at the phone, pulse steadying with effort. They're coming. Not to apologize, but to perform. Roland texts seconds later. We'll increase security and prepare statements. Noah walks in from his shift, reading my face instantly. They called, didn't they? I nod once. Then we fight on our terms, he says. Marguerite's watch ticks beneath my fingers. Its rhythm reminds me of her voice. Never let them choose the stage. Tomorrow, the gala. Tomorrow, the reckoning. The ballroom glows beneath crystal chandeliers and soft music. 500 guests fill the room, all dressed in elegance. This is Marguerite's night, her legacy alive in every corner. But tonight, it's also mine. Noah adjusts his cufflinks, calm but alert beside me. Roland stands near the entrance, phone in hand, eyes scanning. They're here, he murmurs. Victor and Elise step through the doors, perfectly timed for cameras. Applause ripples, flashes spark, the performance begins. They move like practiced actors, smiling for the crowd. I remain near the stage, my glass untouched, pulse steady. For weeks, every detail has been prepared, every risk calculated. No surprises. Not this time. The director of the foundation takes the stage, voice bright. Tonight, we celebrate 25 years of Marguerite's vision. Then she gestures toward the microphone. Please welcome Dr. Noah Moreau. My son walks forward, confident and poised. The applause swells, proud and genuine. Thank you, he begins, voice clear and calm. My grandmother taught me that family isn't defined by blood. It's the people who stay when others walk away. A hush spreads through the room. I see Victor stiffen, Elise's smile falter just slightly. Noah's eyes find mine across the crowd, full of strength. My mother showed me that love can rebuild anything. Tonight, I honor both of them. The screen behind him flickers to life. Marguerite appears, filmed years before her death. Her silver hair gleams, eyes fierce and kind. If you're watching this, she says, they've come back. Murmurs ripple through the audience. To the people who abandoned her, you gave her 10 minutes to leave. I give you 10 minutes to disappear. Gasps fill the room, sharp and electric. My breath catches, tears sting but do not fall. The video continues, showing documents, legal seals, court stamps. Adoption papers, guardianship orders, everything in order. Then Roland steps forward, his tone formal and precise. For the record, these documents establish Ella Moreau as Marguerite's legal daughter. All parental rights of the Duvals were terminated 27 years ago. Whispers spread, journalists typing furiously. Victor rises halfway, anger seething beneath control. This is manipulation, he shouts. Elise clutches his arm, trembling. Roland doesn't flinch. He presses another button. The next recording plays, Tyler's voice, unmistakable. 8% is fair. Once they reunite, we all profit. The sound echoes like a gunshot. The audience turns as one, faces hardening. Victor's confidence shatters, Elise's eyes glaze with panic. A court officer steps forward through the crowd. Victor and Elise Duval, you are hereby served a restraining order. The flash of cameras ignites like fireworks. The two of them stand frozen, surrounded by polite silence. The foundation director's voice cuts through the tension. I think it's best if you leave. Security moves gently but firmly. Victor straightens his tie one last time, pride brittle and thin. This isn't over, he mutters. It already is, I say, my voice steady. Applause begins, soft at first, then thundering. I feel Noah's hand on my shoulder, grounding, proud. She'd be proud, he whispers. I look at the screen one last time. Marguerite smiles faintly, eternal and wise. Blood creates relatives. Love creates family. And tonight, love wins. 6 months pass before the city finally feels quiet again. The chaos fades, replaced by calm, by order, by light. The plaque outside my office gleams. Ella Moreau, CEO. No hesitation now, no ghost of another name behind it. The newspaper on my desk reads, Duval Holdings collapse continues. Their empire is falling, quietly, steadily, without spectacle. Justice, I realize, doesn't always need noise to be complete. Roland enters with a folder and a calm smile. Tyler's fraud case is moving forward, he says. They found the contract, promising his reunion fee. I nod, tracing Marguerite's watch on my wrist. She built the armor before I knew I'd need it. Roland leans back, studying me with quiet pride. You built the rest. We talk of progress, of expansion, of new beginnings. The foundation has doubled its housing program for young mothers. 18 rooms, full already, each one filled with new laughter. The bakery grows too, steady and strong. 5 locations now, soon 6, all bearing her name with honor. At night, I walk home through streets that once terrified me. Every corner feels reclaimed, healed, mine again. Sometimes, I still hear the echoes of that first night. The rain. The bench. The cardboard sign. But now, those memories feel like distant weather. Storms that came and passed and left me standing. Noah visits often, his scrubs replaced by sharp suits. He talks about surgeries, students, and the lives he saves. He never mentions the Duvals. He doesn't need to. They're gone, erased from the story they tried to rewrite. One afternoon, walking through the park, I see her. A girl, maybe 17, a baby asleep against her chest. She sits on a bench, face streaked with quiet tears. I stop, heart twisting with something old and familiar. "Are you all right?" I ask softly. She startles, wiping her cheeks quickly. "I'm fine," she says, the word trembling. I sit beside her, watching the wind move the trees. "I was there once," I tell her. Same bench, same fear, same empty pockets. Her eyes widen, suspicion mixed with fragile hope. "There's a place you can go," I continue. "The Moreau Foundation. We have rooms, childcare, and time." She shakes her head. "I can't pay." "You don't have to," I say gently. "Someone once helped me when I had nothing." I hand her a card, my name printed in silver. She stares at it, hands shaking. "Why would you help me?" she whispers. "Because 27 years ago, someone helped me." Her baby stirs, then settles again. I stand, leaving her the choice, the path, the hope. That night, Noah, Roland, and I sit around Marguerite's old table. 3 glasses of wine between us, laughter soft and real. "To the foundation," Roland says. "To the new chief surgeon," Noah adds. I lift my glass last. "To family," I say. "The one we choose." Marguerite's watch ticks on, sure and steady. The sound of a life rebuilt, one beat at a time. Morning light spills through the kitchen window, warm and golden. The house feels alive, filled with quiet peace. No ghosts remain, only echoes that no longer wound. The phone buzzes with a message from Noah. "Dinner tonight, bring the pie." I smile, the simplest words carrying the weight of a lifetime. Outside, the world hums, ordinary and forgiving. The bakery smells of sugar and coffee, laughter rising from within. Every brick of this life was laid by choice, not chance. I touch Marguerite's watch, its rhythm still sure, still strong. She prepared me for every storm, even the stillness. Across the park, the young mother I met walks with her baby. Hope looks different on her now, brighter, steady. She waves shyly, and I wave back. The circle closes, but not with finality, with continuation. Because family isn't what we inherit, it's what we build. I lock the bakery door and step into the light. For the first time, the name Ella Moreau feels entirely mine. And as the city breathes around me, I breathe with it. Whole. Free. Home.